I'm tired of this whole Adonis Stevenson, Sergey Kovalev, whatever it is. Right now, September the 10th, 2015, I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live. Our WBC lineal champion, recognized champion at 175 pounds. Adonis Superman Stevenson weighed in at exactly 175 pounds. His opponent, Tommy Karpency, weighed in at 174.5. I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live with RealCombatMedia.com, and I cover every single major fight live. It's a fight where we know Tommy Karpency avenged a previous defeat in his last fight against a guy who had more losses on his record than wins. We know that Adonis Stevenson defeated Chad Dawson. Remember that first round knockout. We know, or you should know, that Tommy Karpency defeated and injured Chad Dawson. We should know that Adonis Stevenson defeated Fonfara. Fonfara knocked out Karpency. We should know that Nathan Cleverly got beat up by Sergey Kovalev and is fighting Fonfara, and Fonfara lost in a very spirited bout to Adonis Superman Stevenson. This whole situation, especially the fact that Stevenson is fighting Karpency, is making me think, like, who is really to blame in this saga now? Now, here's the situation. You have Adonis Stevenson, who was on HBO, who was supposed to fight Sergey Kovalev in a unification fight before Bernard Hopkins. Something happened to whereas in Adonis Stevenson team had some type of verbal agreement with Main Events and HBO to fight Sergey Kovalev. In comes Al Haymon, swoops, signs up Adonis Stevenson, takes him off to Showtime. Adonis Stevenson goes on the fight. Who was it? Who was it again? Was it Dmitry Sadovsky? Instead of Adonis Stevenson, then he fought Fonfara. People didn't think Fonfara was actually a good fight for him at the time, but now Fonfara has kind of become a star. But the point I'm trying to make is Adonis Stevenson has really been fighting nobody, or nobody of the stature of, what is in the 175-pound division. But if not fighting Kovalev, who has all the belts, then what's in the division for you, just to keep fighting guys like Tommy Karpency. So since he's left HBO, Adonis Stevenson has fought Dmitry Tolhatsky, Fonfara, Sakio, Bika, and now Tommy Karpency. So the WBC allowed Sergey Kovalev to be in a situation where he would be able to be the WBA Super World Champion and IBF Champion, but also be able to fight to be mandatory for Adonis Stevenson. He became mandatory for Adonis Stevenson by beating Jean Pascal. There was supposed to be a purse bid, if I'm correct, on April the 16th, right now, September the 10th, 2015. Adonis Stevenson team was ready. Al Haymon's money was long, and it was likely going to win the purse bid. But something happened where Sergey Kovalev's commitments to HBO interfered, to where now we have not the fighters, but the networks that have caused this fight not to happen. So it's like, who do you blame now? And it's like, who do we want to see Adonis Stevenson fight? He's got to have a big fight next. I don't care if it's one of the Durrells that move up. I don't care if it's Chavez Jr., a rematch with Fonfara. Who else? Hell, feed him to Bertabiev. But at this point in time, I'm kind of getting fed up with the way his career is going, if it makes sense. Because it's like, I know he could be fighting so much better opposition, but it's like, this is the opposition that's been given to us. But I'm T-Street Controversy. This is T-Street Controversy Live with RealCombatMedia.com. September the 11th, 2015, I'm going to be covering Spence versus Verdun, and of course, Stevenson versus Karpency. And don't be surprised if Karpency actually has a pretty good fight. He's not necessarily a bad fighter, but don't be surprised if he has a good fight. But don't be surprised also if he gets knocked out, as he should. So I'm T-Street Controversy with RealCombatMedia.com. This is T-Street Controversy Live. Please subscribe.